Before history had a name, before humanity learned to record its thoughts or preserve its memory, a quiet revolution began in a land shaped by rivers and time. Between the Tigris and the Euphrates, where fertile soil met unpredictable floods, the Sumerians emerged as the first people to transform human survival into civilization. Around 3500 BCE, while much of the world lived in small tribal communities, the Sumerians built cities, created governments, worshipped powerful gods, and invented writing, forever changing the destiny of humankind. Their rise marked the moment when humanity stepped out of prehistory and into recorded existence. The land of southern Mesopotamia was both a gift and a challenge. The rivers brought life, but also destruction. Floods could arrive without warning, washing away homes and crops. Unlike the predictable Nile, Mesopotamian rivers demanded intelligence, cooperation, and planning. The Sumerians responded with innovation. They dug canals, built dams, and designed irrigation systems that allowed water to nourish fields rather than destroy them. This mastery of water led to agricultural surplus, and surplus changed everything. Food security allowed people to focus on crafts, trade, religion, and governance instead of constant survival. As populations grew, villages expanded into cities, and cities became the defining feature of Sumerian life. Uruk rose first, followed by Ur, Lagash, Kish, Nippur, and Eridu. These were not simple settlements but complex urban centers with walls, markets, temples, and administrative buildings. Each city-state was politically independent, ruled by its own king, yet bound to others by shared culture, language, and belief. Competition between cities was constant, but so was cooperation through trade and shared religious traditions. At the center of every city stood the temple, often built atop a massive ziggurat that towered over the skyline. These structures symbolized the connection between heaven and earth. The Sumerians believed their gods lived above the world, watching closely and intervening frequently. Anu ruled the sky, Enlil commanded storms and fate, Enki governed wisdom and creation, and Inanna embodied love, fertility, and war. Life was lived under divine observation. Success meant the gods were pleased, disaster meant they were angry. This belief shaped morality, politics, and daily behavior. Kings ruled as chosen representatives of the gods. Their authority was both political and spiritual. A king was expected to protect the city, enforce laws, lead armies, and ensure religious rituals were properly performed. Priests held enormous power as intermediaries between humans and the divine. Temples controlled land, labor, and food storage, making them economic centers as well as sacred spaces. Society was clearly structured, with elites at the top, followed by merchants and artisans, farmers and laborers, and slaves at the bottom. Through writing, laws could be enforced, history preserved, and knowledge transmitted across generations. Humanity had found a way to speak to the future. Writing gave birth to education. Sumerian schools trained scribes in reading, writing, mathematics, and administration. These scribes became the backbone of civilization, managing temples, palaces, and trade networks. Clay tablets reveal lessons, exercises, and even complaints from students, offering a rare glimpse into ancient classrooms. Knowledge was no longer fleeting, it could be stored, copied, and refined. Among the countless texts left behind, one stands above all others, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This ancient story follows the king of Uruk, a man of great strength and ambition, whose arrogance brings suffering to his people. Through friendship with Enkidu, loss, and a long journey in search of immortality, Gilgamesh confronts the reality of death. In the end, he learns that humans cannot escape mortality, but they can achieve meaning through wisdom, compassion, and lasting achievements. The epic's themes echo across thousands of years, influencing later myths, religious texts, and philosophies. The Sumerians were also pioneers in science and mathematics. Their base, 60-number system shaped how humans understand time and space, a legacy still present in modern clocks and geometry. They observed the heavens, tracked planetary movements, and linked celestial events to divine will. Though astronomy and astrology were intertwined, their careful observations laid the groundwork for future scientific inquiry. Medical tablets show attempts to diagnose illness and prescribe treatments, blending empirical observation with spiritual belief. Law emerged as cities grew and disputes became inevitable. Sumerian rulers issued written laws governing trade, marriage, property, and crime. Justice was strict and often unequal, but the idea that laws should be recorded and publicly known was groundbreaking. Authority was no longer arbitrary, it was bound by written rules. This concept would later shape legal systems across the ancient world. Trade connected Sumer to distant lands. Lacking wood, stone, and metal, the Sumerians exchanged grain, textiles, and crafted goods with regions far beyond Mesopotamia. Merchant caravans and boats carried Sumerian influence across the ancient world, spreading ideas, technologies, and cultural practices. These early trade networks formed the foundation of global exchange. Art flourished alongside commerce. Sumerian sculptures portrayed worshippers with wide eyes, eternally gazing toward the gods. Cylinder seals, intricately carved with scenes of myth and daily life, served as personal identifiers and artistic expressions. Music, poetry, and ritual enriched social and religious life, revealing a culture deeply engaged with beauty and meaning. Yet Sumer was never a peaceful paradise. Rival city-states clashed over land and water, engaging in frequent warfare. Weapons evolved, armies grew, and fortifications expanded. Constant conflict weakened the region, making it vulnerable to conquest. Around 2300 BCE, Sargon of Akkad unified the city-states under the world's first empire. Sumerian political independence ended, but their culture endured. Conquerors adopted Sumerian writing, religion, and administration, ensuring their legacy survived. Environmental challenges compounded political decline. Over-irrigation led to soil salinization, reducing crop yields. Climate shifts and repeated invasions further destabilized the region. Gradually, the Sumerian language faded from daily use, preserved only in religious and scholarly contexts. By 2000 BCE, the Sumerians had vanished as a distinct people. But civilizations do not die when their cities fall. The Sumerians lived on through their ideas. Writing, law, education, literature, mathematics, urban planning, and governance all trace their origins to Sumer. Every civilization that followed built upon their foundations. Modern society, in countless unseen ways, still reflects their innovations. The rise and fall of the Sumerians is more than an ancient story. It is the moment humanity discovered how to organize itself, record its thoughts, and imagine a future beyond survival. In the mud-brick cities of Mesopotamia, civilization was born. Though their voices faded into clay tablets and ruins, their influence remains alive in the world we inhabit today. Before history had a name, the Sumerians gave it one, and in doing so, they changed the human story forever.